Hello, everyone. Just waiting for you all to pop on. Let me know who you are and where you're calling from and what the weather's like. Right now, I'm in Kelowna, BC. We're on a trip right now for the week, and then we're back to Mexico on Friday. So I'd love to hear from you. And I'm going to give Rona a call and see if she's available to be part of this as well. Looking forward to seeing you all. Today, we're going to be talking a lot about autoimmune and how to lose weight when you have autoimmune, and really dive deep into what's causing this autoimmune so that you can lose weight. Just going to make sure you guys can see me okay. I've got someone on the line. Love to know who you are and where you're calling from and the weather. What's the weather like over there? Hey, sunny and hot. All right. Where are you? Love to know where you're from. Oh, I see. Oh, Kelowna. Awesome. Yeah, I was just at the farmer's market. That's great. Awesome. Love to know your name. Okay, we're going to start in 4 minutes. Oh, good. And I'll give Rona a call. Keely. Hey, Keely. Shelly. Hi, Shelly. Perfect. So I like to make sure that I stop my training to see if there's any questions along the way. Because for me, this is integrative so that it's like a conversation. So I share and then I look to see if there's any questions. What I don't like to do is be a talking head all the time, because that tends to be a little bit boring. So I want this to be interactive. And so I'll be looking for questions from you. And just so you know, there's never a bad question, because if you have a question, there's likely someone else who has a question. And if you share it, then everyone else can learn as well. Okay. So it's how we all get fit and healthy together, right? So would that be Shelly Talak by any chance? I'd love to know. Shelly Talak. Okay, it looks like Rona's going to join us as well. Okay. Two more minutes, and you can actually ask advanced questions. That would be something that would be really neat, because if you have a burning question, and you can make sure it gets answered by actually asking it now. Oh, this is Shelly Talak. Oh, hi, Shelly. Yeah, so nice to see you. Okay, we're going to get started in 2 minutes. One more minute. And again, please let me know who you are and where you're calling from and what the weather is like today. from Southern Ireland. Perfect. What is the weather like in Southern Ireland? It's a beautiful day here in Kelowna. It's like I just came from the farmer's market. It was so nice. I love, it feels so good to be back when I'm in the environment that I, spent so much time in which is the farmer's market, nature's fair with friends. It really does feel so good it's like nourishing. It's nourishing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, it's 2:00 and I'm going to give Rona a call. I had to shut my phone off because I couldn't quite figure it out, but now I can. I highly recommend you get a pen and paper because I go pretty quick sometimes and you're going to want to take some really important notes, okay? Because after we're done today, you're actually going to be able to get started healing from autoimmune and starting to lose weight. Okay. So I want to welcome you all to another live training with Michelle, and these are done every Wednesday at 12 PST. And what I do is I'm going to share with you deeper dives into the 9-step program that I've created. And the program is specifically designed to help you lose serious weight or even 20 pounds within just 12 weeks. Hey, without starving, without depriving, without giving up your favorite foods or wine. You don't really need to give all those up. Because that doesn't work. And that's why so many people are overweight, because they're not doing it right. Well, I basically have cracked the code only because I wanted to figure this out myself. I think it's because, I don't know about you, who's a foodie here? I'm certainly a foodie. I love food. And I wanted to make sure that I was able to nourish my body, but not gain weight. And so I wanted to figure out how to do that and feel good, right? And so I did figure it out. And so once I figured it out, I followed it myself. And then I was able to maintain it for decades and decades. And now I've created a plan for anyone else who's interested in this, because it's just like one step at a time. You have to do the right step at the right time. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to say hello to everybody. And I want to thank you so much for being here. We're going to be here for about 45 minutes. And again, along the way, I'm going to ask you for questions or comments or anything, because again, this is all about learning together as a group, okay? Because we're all in it to win it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start by sharing my screen. Go here. And then we're going to start with sharing my screen. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure that you guys can see on the screen where it says Slim, Strong, and Sexy Forever, because this is a bit of the starting of the training today. And I just want to make sure you guys can see that on the screen. Okay, yeah, you can. Okay, good. So yeah, this is actually what the program looks like. And it is all about slimming down, but doing it feeling strong and internal, external, and actually feeling sexy, getting the sexy back. Whether it's you feel sexy or you look in the mirror and you look sexy, whatever it is, but sexy is energy, right? Strong. You want to get strong to get slim. So that's why I've encased this into one easy plan that actually really does work. And not only that, not only do you lose the weight, but actually you can keep it off. Plus you look and feel 10 years younger. Okay. And what I love to do is I always start with, what is the image in your mind? What do you want? What is the end result? What's the end goal? How do you want it to look and feel? Because really your body follows the mind. And so when you can put these pictures in front of you to go, this is me. This is my new me. This is the version of new me. This is the new version that I am now. And so I always have you start with, what does that look like? Maybe it's an old photo of you that when you took the photo at that time, you were at your best. Maybe it's something from a magazine. It's whatever it is that speaks to you that goes, yeah, actually, that's me. That's who I want to be. Okay. So encourage you, if you haven't done this already, please find an image that represents who you want to be, and have that front and center, and either put it on the fridge or have it as a screensaver or have it somewhere where you see it all the time. Okay. And so for me, I know I love Wonder Woman. She, to me, breathes like strength and beauty and purpose and love, and very giving, but yet giving to herself. So this is kind of the image that I placed that really speaks to me, but whatever speaks to you. And just so you know who I am, for those that don't know who I am, I'm actually a clinical nutritionist, and I've been in practice for over 2 decades. And I got into this because I needed to recover my own health. My health was suffering, and I was looking for answers. So what happened to me was, I've been fit my whole life, but I actually got really sick, not feeding my body properly, and I lost a lot of weight. And I also lost my bones, my bone mass. And so I actually developed osteoporosis at a very young age. When my bones were supposed to be the strongest, they were the weakest. And the solution was all medical. So it was all this, just take this pill to fix this problem. But to me, it didn't make sense. How did I get here? So once you figure out how to get there and what you want, then you can actually, figure out, I wanted to do it all natural. Like there was something I was eating that was, or not eating, that was driving this accelerated aging disease or this bone loss. And so I went on this journey to figure out, what is my best diet to build my body up to be strong? What is my best diet to be able to build my my bones back up? And so that I can eat to nourish my body instead of always, worrying about food all the time. And so I did figure it out. And this is what brought this program all together for you. Today, we're going to really be diving into one condition called autoimmune. And what I want to share with you is, first I'm going to share with you someone who I actually helped, who I've worked a lot with autoimmune, okay? Because a lot of clients that come to me who have autoimmune are overweight. And it makes sense, because when you have autoimmune disease, you actually have high inflammation. And inflammation is the driver to all disease. And inflammation is the driver to being overweight. And so if you can find out the triggers, the drivers to what's driving the inflammation, then you can heal the body and seal it for good, okay? Which is what you're going to learn today. But really, I just want to kind of shine the light on Christine. So Christine came to me. She was on multiple medications, like so many of them, because as you know, when you start with one, it has side effects and then drives you to the next medication to take care of the side effects. And if that's not taken care of, then you go on a third medication and a fourth. And so Christine came to me riddled with autoimmune and all these other conditions, and quite overweight. And so what happened was, as we started to work together, she was able to very quickly, really quickly, within like 2 weeks, we started to reduce the medication. In fact, eliminate most of the medications. Okay, because once the body gets what it needs, it doesn't need the medication in some instances. And so I quickly identified the ones that she didn't need, put the right food into her body and the right lifestyle, and then her body responded so quickly. So she was able to go off so many medications. She lost the weight, and now she got back to what she wanted to do, which was her career as a flute instructor. So she's very, very grateful. This is kind of the look, what the plan looks like. There's 9 steps. Today, we're going to be diving into a lot of the self-test assessment. So what this really means is we want to test and not guess. And when it comes to autoimmune, this is absolutely critical for you to actually get results, is testing and not guessing. So I'm going to stop this right now that you've got a bit of a background. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift gears into a different slide. So one moment, please. Go here. And again, if you have any questions along the way, this is your chance to ask them. Okay, this is your chance to get them answered, right? So that you're not stuck. If you're stuck, ask the question. So I'm going to move back to sharing my screen and into the actual training. Okay, so bear with me. Here we go. Now, you are here to learn how to lose weight if you have arthritis or other autoimmune disorders. What I'm going to promise you today is you're going to learn the number one mistake most people make when trying to heal or lose weight from autoimmune. You're also going to learn the 4 known triggers to autoimmune. Once you know these, then actually you can start to go after them and stop them so that the body can heal. So it's really important to know these 4 known triggers, okay? You're also going to learn why self-awareness is one of the most important keys to lifelong healing and staying at your perfect weight for good, for life, okay? No more yo-yoing, no more sitting back. No, we are doing this and we're going to keep it for life, okay? And also why autoimmune is actually a gift. It's been given to you so that you can actually learn something from it. It's there, okay? And evolve into who you are meant to be. Now, let's start with the first one. The number one mistake I find most people make when trying to lose weight and heal from autoimmune is this. They guess. It's all guesswork. So much guessing, okay? One person with autoimmune is going to have a different solution to another person with autoimmune. It's really true. So you can't follow the same diet. You can't follow the same lifestyle. You are two different people. Yes, there are some commonalities, absolutely, which I'm going to go through today. But I just want you, please, at the end of this call, make sure that you start to learn more about yourself, okay? Learn more about who you are, where your drivers are, where are your triggers, okay? I'm going to show you 4 of them today, but really you want to dive in to what these are. No more guessing. We must test. And there are ways to test, okay? One of the ways to test that I highly recommend is getting a complete blood work. Of course, we're going to want to get this to start. If you're going to embark on trying to heal a condition, really we want to get some baselines. We want to know where you're at to start, okay? So, and for autoimmune, we want to check your autoimmune markers. Where are these antibodies at? What's the level they're at? Okay, this is so important when you embark in something. Where are you at? You're also going to want to look at things like, how are your kidneys working? How's your liver working? Where's your iron at? Okay, so all these markers, we don't want to guess. We must test. So getting a complete blood work panel is absolutely critical, and make sure it's complete. And if it's not complete and you're not sure what to do, hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to share this information, and I have some blood work recommended that I'm so fine to share with you. These are the markers that I'd be looking at to see where you're at, to know what to do. Okay, so that's the first thing is you want to test. All right, and I'm gonna share one other thing that you're gonna want to test. Okay, when it comes to losing weight, another mistake that I see most people make is they look at scale weight. They step on the scale and either they're happy or not happy. Well, really, we don't want to just track scale weight. When you're stepping on the scale, what are you weighing? You're weighing your bones, your meal, your water, your muscle, your fat, your skin. You're weighing everything. But that's not what we want to measure. We don't want to measure everything. No, we actually want to measure how much muscle mass you have and how much body fat percentage you have. Because when it comes to being overweight, where is the weight coming from? Is it mainly muscle or is it mainly fat? Okay, so that's why body composition machines, they are not expensive. You want to test your body composition. You don't want to test scale weight, right? That makes sense, right? Because when you're scale weight, how would you know how much fat and muscle you have? When it comes to losing weight, your goal is to get into an ideal body fat percentage, an ideal muscle mass percentage. This way you basically have re-engineered your body to be have a metabolism that when you eat food, you're using it as energy and not storing it as fat. Okay, because you've worked towards that. And so when it comes to females and you're testing your body composition, you're going to want to look for around 22%, 25. That would be an average good body fat percentage to kind of strive for. I like to be at 17% because it makes me feel good. I like to be lean because I feel good being lean. And athletic would be around 17%, but really healthy average would be like 22, 25%. So you can get these body composition machines at Costco. They're called Omron. You can order them on Amazon. You can go to a fitness place and they'll have body composition. Test yourself, okay? And get that done. When it comes to males, you need less body fat than females because we're the ones who bear the children. We need more body fat. We have breasts. Males don't need that much body fat. In fact, they're better off when they have less body fat. So your average would be around 17%, maybe 15%. That would be a really good body fat percentage, okay? When you're at that percentage, it's really, 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 really good for you. And there's reasons for that. And I'm going to go through that a little bit later about body fat and what it really is. But I just want to really emphasize the mistake most people make is we have to test and not guess. Okay, so I'm going to talk about two other problems that I see most people make when trying to heal from autoimmune and lose weight. And they are the following. Their health plan is too general and it's not specific enough. Okay. It needs to be in alignment with exactly your goals and your body. Okay. There's enough guessing. We need to make sure that it's very specific to your body. And a good example of this is the typical autoimmune paleo diet, that can be quite generalized. But we want to look at that and go, actually, I need to make it more specific to my body. This is where you need someone to really, maybe with a different set of eyes, to look at the health plan you're at and go, wait a minute, actually, that's not quite filling the gaps. And this is where the gaps are. Let's fill this. And now you've got a very specific plan to your body, your fingerprint. Because here's the thing. Aren't you tired of walking around with an immune issue? Like, there has to be, you've got to make some choices because what you're doing isn't working. And so what I'm saying is it needs to be very specific because this is like a pretty strong condition that really, if you continue with, it leads to more autoimmune conditions. Because what we find is those with one autoimmune, like arthritis, if that's not taken care of, it leads to the second autoimmune, like maybe asthma. And then a third autoimmune, maybe underactive thyroid, and it keeps going until you actually heal from it. And it does mean being very specific because it's gone this far, okay? But it can go farther, but you've got to really, really make it specific. So it's really important to see somebody who can find the gaps that you have, fill the gaps, put together a plan that's specific to you, and now you get results. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Then the third reason I see most people fail to lose weight when they have autoimmune disease is this. They don't give it a chance to work long enough, okay? They fall off the program before the body actually gets into the rhythm of healing, all right? So because it takes time. Like, how long did it take you to get to your autoimmune condition? How long have you had it? 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, 30 years? Okay, well, that's a long time. That's a long time to have this immune issue, right? And so what your goal is to follow the program and give your body a chance to heal from it, okay, without falling off. Because every time you fall off, every time you trigger, you're almost back to square one, okay? That's why it's really, really important to have accountability, whether it be your partner, your kids, maybe, I don't know. Well, me, obviously, because I'm a practitioner and a coach. So accountability is absolutely essential when you're looking to heal the body from autoimmune. Okay. Because how's it working so far? Right. So I know I'm just sharing this stuff, but really I'm having you really take a look at these missing pieces that need to be taken care of for you to actually heal. And if you want to heal, people heal from autoimmune all the time. Okay. So if they can do it, so can you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this and I'm going to open up the lines to see if anybody has any questions right now that I can answer. And I'm happy to answer now. So anyone here with any questions so far that I've, shared, so about blood tests, testing, not guessing, body composition, body fat, muscle mass, why it's important to have that. Here we've got Larry. He's from Iowa and it's 87 degrees there today. Okay. So any questions on autoimmune so far? Testing, not guessing. Nothing? Okay. I'm going to go back to the training then. That's awesome. All right. Remember, don't be shy. Okay. So we are going to go back to the training, and I'm going to get there right now in a moment. Okay, here we are. All right. So we talked about the problems, right? And we talked about the proof that it does work. Christine, she's one example. There are many. All right. Now let's talk about the process. What I mean by that is the process to heal. We have to know what's driving it. Where is the problem? Okay. So this is where we start with the 4 known triggers to autoimmune. We have to know what's driving the autoimmune. Okay. There are 4 known triggers. Okay. Now, the first one, what is the first trigger to autoimmune? Well, food. So your tissues are made of the food you eat. And so we want to make sure that we're eating in alignment with your, to heal the body from autoimmune. We can take a step back and go, what is autoimmune? Okay. Autoimmune is where the body is exposed to something and it looks at it. Okay. A healthy immune system looks at something and entering the body, and it looks at it as friend or foe. Is this something that should be here, or is this something that shouldn't be here? Okay. And that's a healthy immune system, right? And that's how it works really well. If it shouldn't be there, it eliminates it. If it should be there, it keeps it in. Well, with autoimmune, this is not working properly. Okay. What happens is something that should normally be a friend, the body looks at it like a foe. Okay. It's confused. It's not working properly. And so what it'll do is it'll start to attack it and nearby tissue. Okay. And so that's why you'll see different autoimmune conditions. It depends on your weakness in the body. And so you can have arthritis. Your weakness is your joints. You can have autoimmune as your thyroid. Your weakness is your thyroid. You can have autoimmune, all sorts of things. Respiratory system. Your weakness is your asthma, right? And so these are specific areas in the body where it's actually weak. And so the body needs to get strong. And so we need to get this immune system working properly. So then when it looks at a substance, it knows if it's friend or foe. Foe would be chemicals, right? We want to get rid of that. Friend would be good nutrition, right? And so that's kind of what autoimmune is. So let's look at food. So when we're looking at healing from autoimmune and actually losing weight, we actually want to get rid of the known triggers, of the known food triggers to autoimmune. Now, just to know what those would be, you have to really think about it. We've been to know your best food. Okay. We need to go back to what's easy to digest. We don't want to eat foods that are really difficult to digest. The body already has an immune issue. It already has a digestive issue, which is the immune system lies in the digestive system. It already is weak. So if we're going to eat foods that are hard to digest, how do you expect to be healthy? We can't. So we need to go back to foods that are easy to digest, that are easily assimilated, okay? Until we fix the gut, then we can start to introduce the other foods. Makes sense, right? Well, how do we know what these foods are? Well, we've been, as we are human beings, and we've been populating this planet for about 2.5 million years. And we need to go back to our original diet as Homo sapiens, right? And so what did they eat? We have to look back to what did our ancestors eat? Not what are we eating now? Because these are new foods to us. No, what did we originally start to eat? Because our bodies are still, believe it or not, 99.9% the same. The same genetically. We're the same as 2.5 million years ago. Yeah. So we need to actually go back to what did we eat back then? Well, we ate from the land. We ate from our environment. Okay. We didn't have packaged food back then, right? We didn't even have agriculture back then. No, agriculture was only 8,000 years ago. That's nothing compared to what our genome actually was built on and what it expects. Yeah. Healthy. So anyways, going back to our ancestral way of eating, this is how we need to think when it comes to your best diet to heal and lose weight. Yeah. And so we need to go back. What did they eat? Well, they were hunters and gatherers. So what do you hunt? What do you gather? So that's basically what you want to kind of think about. So that's where you go. The second component to all this is, hey, instead of generalizing, why don't we specialize? I'm going to give you a clue right now. You ready for this one? You got your pen and paper there because this is really important. I'm going to give you a clinical pearl right now. It'll blow you away. Okay, here's what it is. So you want to think about where your ancestry is, okay? Not where my ancestry is. Where's your ancestry? Because where did your ancestry live? Okay, were you Northern European? Okay, or were you more Mediterranean? Right? That'll give you a clue to your best diet because you're still the same as your ancestors. Okay, you're still the same as your ancestors. You're still basically built like your ancestors. So for example, if you're somebody from the Northern European and you keep hearing about plant-based diet, we need to go all vegetarian, we need to actually go vegan. Well, how's that working for you? Maybe it's not working because you're not designed that way. But hey, if you are from the Mediterranean, if you are from long light cycles, if you are from Indian descent, if you are from these regions that really did eat mostly plants, then vegan's probably going to be really good for you, right? Vegan, vegetarian, absolutely. So there's your number one first clue to being more specialized instead of generalized with what is your best diet. Now let's talk about the common triggers when it comes to driving autoimmune. These are the food groups that are most typically causing inflammation, which drives the autoimmune, which then stops you from healing. So we're going to want to eliminate these until the body heals. Okay, so the first one, here's a picture of the actual meal plan that I designed for my clients. So I do a lot of these, and these are customized to the individual based on their food preferences. It gives you an example of what the picture looks like. They're one-page meal plans. So this will give them meals for the whole week. It's like super, super easy. There's the grocery list. So all they do is go to the grocery store, pick these items, and then they have food for the week. So they know exactly what they're doing because we're not guessing, right? So here we go. The first food group that we're going to want to eliminate if you have autoimmune is the following: gluten. We know gluten would be something very difficult to digest if your gut isn't healthy yet. And so what we're going to want to do is when it's healthy, absolutely, we're going to want to have some gluten because our ancestors did have some gluten. Okay. And it's fine in small amounts, but not when the gut needs help. Right. And so we're going to want to think about really eliminating and being ruthless because actually it will trigger inflammation to those that have autoimmune. So that means looking at your package, not the marketing. If you do eat from packaged food, looking at the ingredients in there, not just the marketing on the front. Ingredients, what's actually in there. So you want to make sure there's no gluten. The other thing is when you're eating out, you've got to use your words, and put the waiter aside. Listen, I'm allergic to gluten. I can't have any gluten. And so make sure that they follow that as well. All right. So gluten would be number one. Number two, this is the most common one that I see most individuals still eat even when they have autoimmune, and that is dairy. No, we can't have dairy, not right now. Casein is looked upon to the body like gluten. Okay, it's called molecular mimicry, where the body looks at casein as it is gluten, and it will inflame the body. So a little bit of milk here and there, a little bit of cheese, a little bit of maybe even butter, it's going to trigger, and you wonder why you're not moving forward. We have to eliminate. You got to be strong. You got to get the discipline in there because you want to heal, right? And this is where the accountability comes in. All right. And so, hey, you got this, but you got to get strong. So here's the thing. We're going to eliminate all casein. All right. Until the body heals, then you can start to introduce it. All right. The third food group that we're going to want to eliminate is, nightshades. Yeah. So, and this is again, a common one that I see a lot of clients come to me still eating when they have autoimmune. No, the body looks at it like it inflames the body. There's substances in these nightshade family of foods that will trigger inflammation. And if you keep triggering it, the body can't heal. Okay, so you've got to eliminate these nightshades. All right. We already know about sugar. That's an obvious thing. So we want to eliminate sugar. There are sweeteners we can have, just not the sugar. And beans and legumes. Yes, I know. We want these later after your gut is healed, but in the beginning, absolutely not. It is way too difficult to digest. And again, your body needs a rest. It needs to rest. It's like, listen, just give me easily nutrient-rich foods, not the ones that are hard to digest. Okay. Beans and legumes. That is a no. That is not. Yeah, it's a yes later, but just not right now. Okay. I would guard against maybe fermented foods unless you're already eating those, especially kombucha. It's like sugar to the body. Fermented foods are like a caution. Eggs would be a caution. And so these are kind of the things you want to think about. Okay. So we've gone through that. That's awesome. I'm actually going to stop this and I'm going to see if there's any questions so far, because I really did kind of lay out a lot there. And I'm happy if there are some questions, because this is how we all learn, right? So I'm going to see who here. Okay, I have a question here. Does it matter what blood type? I'm negative. They say to eat red meat, hard on the gut to digest. Oh, this is a really good question. So the blood type dieting from Peter Diamos, I guess, has been debunked, I guess is what I'm saying. Is I don't follow any of that. But you know what? It does have some truth to it, but really it has been debunked, I guess, of what you're saying. It's not been efficacious in a sense that we haven't really proved that to be true. But at the same time, it kind of makes sense for some people. So for someone like you, you're saying you have a blood type that's negative. Maybe that is an O type, because O types are the ones that eat red meat. So if your blood type is O type and they're saying to eat red meat, but it's hard for you to digest, a few things going on. First of all, it's not the meat, it's your digestive tract. Yeah, so we have low stomach acid, okay? This is the key to breaking down foods. Your stomach is what breaks down protein, right? And so it needs to release hydrochloric acid to begin the breakdown of protein. So it's not, so when you're eating the red meat, it could be really healthy red meat, but if you don't have stomach acid, you're wondering, oh, I can't break it down. It's the red meat. It's not the red meat. It's your stomach acid. This is a game changing for you to hear right now, whoever this is. It's your stomach acid. We've got to get the stomach acid tested. Do you have enough stomach acid? All right. And there are some tests that you can actually check. And once you can test to see where your stomach acid is, and we bring it up to a healthy level, guess what? Bing. You can now start digest all your animal protein, all your proteins. In fact, you need stomach acid to break down all your proteins. Okay. Guess what else stomach acid's for? It mineralizes the body. What happens is when you eat your vegetables, the stomach acid helps to break it down and ionizes them to be able to absorb the minerals. So if you're somebody who can't eat red meat and you're in pain, then you have low mineral status and you have low stomach acid. So the root cause of all of this is stomach acid. And then you go, well, what brought the stomach acid down? See, as a clinician, we always go to the root cause, like what drove the stomach acid to be down. And I already know a lot of the drivers. So working with me, I love to like dig deeper and go, oh, this is where it happened. And this is when it happened. And here's your stomach acid we can put back in. And now you can eat your red meat. And now you can have the energy. Now you can have the iron. Now you can enjoy all these foods that you didn't before. Okay. This is so, so, so important. And I really like that question. For blood type, I'm actually a blood type A. So I'm actually supposed to be vegetarian. It doesn't work for me. And so I don't feel good. I love red meat and I love organ meats and I love pork and I love rich, fatty meats. Well, does not in alignment with blood type A. So I actually don't agree with that. So I look at different ways to test. Okay. That's a really, really good question. Thank you so much for asking. I have another question here. Is intermittent fasting beneficial to kickstart your stomach acid? There are better ways to do that. So intermittent fasting is really, really good for weight loss. We all need to intermittent fast because we need to fast to be able to burn fat. Because if you're always eating, you're using your food as fuel, but you're not actually tapping into your energy reserves, which are the fat on the body. And so intermittent fasting is really good for fat loss. Intermittent fasting is also really, really good for intracellular cleanup. It helps to allow the body to do its own natural detox because you're not eating, right? Oh, I'm not eating. Oh, good. What else can I do? Oh, there's some stuff that shouldn't be here. Let's get rid of that, right? Because you're not eating. Eating is stressful, but we need to eat during the window of time that you're designed to eat. You know, usually you intermittent fast 14 hours, maybe 16 hours, and in between the eating time, nourish your body. When it comes to kickstarting stomach acid, for me, I like to see where the stomach acid is at. And then for me, I use a digestive aid called Digest Plus. And so I have an online dispensary, and they're all professional products. And I get to customize my supplement plan to my clients, what their needs are and where they're at, and then drop ship them right to their door, because everything has to be simple, because we're overwhelmed, right? We need it simple. So I take all that off your plate. And so I use that. Other ways that you can raise stomach acid is apple cider vinegar. So we can have a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in a little bit of water, and have that before you eat. And that will actually help with stomach acid. The other thing that'll help with stomach acid is being calm when you eat, because we want to make sure that the body is in a rest and digest state, not a fight or flight, right? And this is what a conversation I had with one of my new clients yesterday, and it was, why am I always hungry after I just eat? And so the reason is because she hasn't given herself enough time to recognize that she's full, because she eats too fast. And so we're stressed. And then the body is in stress mode. It's not in balance. And so when you eat, you have to think about food hygiene, which is, are you eating when you're calm? Are you chewing your food? Is it becoming mush before you swallow, so that, remember, stomach doesn't have teeth, right? But you have teeth for a reason, break down your food. So, and it should take you about 20, 30 minutes to finish your meal, but not longer than that, and not really before that. So 20, 30 minutes, use that as a rule. Chew your food, be calm when you eat. I have some apple cider vinegar. Reach out to me for these digestive aids. They're the ones I take all the time, because I am older and my stomach acid tends to be, on the low side. So I do this myself, and I do it for my clients, and it works amazing, because then it takes the load off your digestive system and it does the work for you, so that you can use the food as energy and get rid of what you don't. And guess what? You slim down. It's really great way to actually lose weight, okay, in a healthy way. Good question. Let's go here. Is higher pH water better for our health to digest food? What I recommend, that's a really good question. So your body does its own pH balance. It does. It's got kidneys for that. That's acid alkaline balance, right? That's what the kidneys are for. And so we want to make sure your kidneys are healthy. How do you know they're healthy? When you do the blood test. Remember, we don't guess, we test. And so we want to look at the GFR on the blood test. Is it over 90? Okay, that's a healthy kidney. Over 90. If it's below 90, you've got some kidney stuff going on. It'll tell you that right there. We're not guessing, we're testing. And it's so easy. And so we want to have healthy kidneys to be able to create healthy acid alkaline in the body, right? And so when it comes to water, I highly recommend you do one simple thing. Drink clean water. That's all you have to do. And clean water is reverse osmosis. So we want to have reverse osmosis water, or if you're ordering water, get spring water, not distilled water. So get this water in. We don't want to drink out of plastics. We want to drink out of glass. Otherwise, we're putting estrogen in our body, and it's going to dysregulate our hormones. And mineralize. You can get your minerals from your vegetables, okay? And so this is where we just want to have reverse osmosis water. It's going to be way less costly. Keep it simple, okay? So that's good. And when it comes to water and digesting food, make sure you drink your water away from your foods. This is the other part, is we don't want to drink our water, a lot of water, and then eat. You wonder why you have stomach pain and you can't digest your foods. You've washed away all your enzymes to break down the food. So leave at least 30 minutes from water intake to eating, and then about an hour after to drink again. Okay, so that's another big tip. I love that question. It's really good. Here we go. What about apple cider vinegar by pill form? Not as good. Hey, does it feel energetically good? To me, even when you say that, it doesn't. I understand compliance and I understand travel and all that kind of stuff. I would guard against that, because we know apple cider vinegar, you want to get it with the mother in it, right? So Bragg's is good. Omega Nutrition is good. There's probably some other good ones that are good, but it's got to have the mother in there. And before you have it, make sure the lid's on it and shake it up. Okay. And then you can have a little bit of the mother every time you have that 1 teaspoon. Okay. And that's the enzymes that's going to help with stomach acid. I think it's dead. I think apple cider vinegar in a pill is dead. But personally, that's just how I feel. These are all really good questions. That's really awesome. I love it. You guys are thinking and you've got some good questions here. And I am happy to answer more, but I'm going to go back to the training right now. So thank you so much. So we're going to go back and we're going to go here. Okay. So we talked about the meal plan, the diet, give you some ideas there. Now we're going to talk about, here we're talking about the 4 triggers, right? We're going back to, what are we talking about? 4 known triggers to autoimmune. We talked about food. Now let's get into, of course, chemicals. My goodness. Wow, chemicals. Are we ever loaded with chemicals in our environment? This is like such a sad state of affairs. There's a lot of people stepping out and recognizing this. And I'm just going to share it with you right now. We are loading ourselves full of toxins, and toxins, environmental toxins, are major triggers to autoimmune. Okay. For example, I did speak with another client just yesterday or 2 days ago, and with autoimmune and underwear. So like undergarments, wearing those from not cotton, but artificial, or what is it, polyester, actually triggered autoimmune for her. It wasn't her diet. Her diet was on point. It was these, her undergarments that actually triggered a flare up. Yeah. So just know that, remember, your skin is absorbing toxins all the time. It's porous. It's one of your biggest, what we call detoxifying organs of your body. Your skin is an organ, right? And it's porous and it's absorbing chemicals. So whatever you put on your skin, hey, whatever you put on your skin, you've got to be able to know that you can eat it. Is it full of chemicals? You've got to look at your the ingredients in what your body care products and your skincare products, right? So what we see a lot of are plastics and mercury derivatives. Well, this is really gonna do damage on your metabolism. Okay, and just know that these chemicals do have an effect, and they're compounding. How many times do you put body care products on during the day? How many times do you brush your teeth? How many times do you clean your house? Right? So what they find is a lot of these chemicals are more in our homes than they are outside. And so toxic chemicals, what products are you using to clean your house? Are they clean products? Because if not, you're inhaling these chemicals. They're going in the respiratory system, and they're driving. The body has to deal with these to try and eliminate them. Why? Because they're foe. But if we're continually putting chemicals in, it gets confused. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so overwhelmed. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm like, this is not working, right? And so that's where the immune system becomes impaired. So please, please do yourself a favor and the environment. Find natural skincare products. Find household products that are natural. And you'll know that by looking at the ingredients, not the marketing. Remember, the front page, they're trying to sell you something, but what's actually in there? Keep it so simple. For me, I use just like coconut oil on my skin. I literally do that. And on my face, I went to the farmer's market and I'm actually going to do a story on it today. I bought plant-based, like all herbs. So herbs in this natural oil, and the preservative was a natural preservative, no chemicals, okay? Because I'm really, really vigilant with what I put on my skin. And so really think about this. What are you washing your hair with? What are you cleaning your house with, right? So let's really be vigilant with this, and let's eliminate these chemicals that are just driving our autoimmune. It's triggering it, okay? I know for me, I have a list for my clients. It's called the sources of toxicity and how to eliminate these toxins that are like, you would never believe they're toxic, but they are. And so I have a list that I give to my clients, because everything has to be simple, all right? And so what they'll do is they'll just slowly weed out the stuff that are chemicals and replace them with the stuff that are natural. Okay. So just really think about that. Chemicals, get rid of these chemicals, get into natural. And a really good website, just so you know, to know if, I'm not sure if this is safe or not, go to ewg.org. They are the watchdogs on body care products and any kind of chemicals that you're using, household products, skin care, sun care. Oh my gosh, sun care. Be really vigilant with sun care. Make sure the sun care is natural. We don't want these chemicals, okay? And so ewg.org, that's a really good, you want to bookmark that one. and use that one. So I'm going to stop this and I'm going to see if there's any questions before I get into the next one. So let's go here. Okay, so great answers. Great answers. Oh, good. And if you have more questions, please bring them out. Yeah, that's a good. Okay, so where are we at right now? When should we stop eating for the day? Oh, it's a good question. Well, ideally, you want to stop. Okay, if you're 20, here's what the science says. If you're 20 or more pounds overweight, we know that you're leptin resistant. That is a hormone imbalance. Okay, and so 20 or more pounds overweight, you're leptin resistant. How to fix leptin so that you're leptin sensitive, which means you can tell when you're hungry and full. Stop 4 hours before bed. What time is a good bedtime? In the summer, 10 o'clock, maybe 11 o'clock. Okay. In the summertime, because we want to work with our circadian rhythms. In the summertime, we need less sleep. In the wintertime, we need more sleep. So you're going to couple yourself with your environment, right? And so with summertime, 10, 11 o'clock at night. So work 4 hours back from there. This is where I'm going with this. Okay. 4 hours back from there. If you're 20 or more pounds overweight, if you're not, if you're 5, 10, 15, you want to drop that amount, then 2 hours before bed. 2 hours before bed, you want to stop all calories, and ideally all beverages, because you don't want to be up all night. You need to sleep to be able to burn the fat. You need to have that, and sleep to be able to heal from autoimmune. You need sleep to heal from everything. So I want you to guard your sleep. And so let's stop our beverages before then. Okay. That's a really good question. If anyone has any more of those, I'm happy to answer. Since you had me eliminate, okay, so I have someone here that I helped eliminate bad oils. Okay, so since you had me eliminate, this is a testimonial from Larry. Hi, Larry, you're so awesome. Since you had me eliminate the bad oils, canola, I'm no longer UV sensitive anymore. Thank you so much, Michelle. Well, thank you for following that. It's really, I'm just the guide. I'm just the messenger, and you're following it. And you really are following it. Like, I'm so impressed with you, like super impressed. I have a question though, that actually has been simmering in my mind since meeting you. And that is, what does UV sensitive skin feel like? I'd like to hear your answer to that. Okay. So we have someone else. How does wine affect our metabolism? Oh, this is a really good question. So you may know that I love wine, but really, I actually gave it up for quite a while to heal my body because I knew that it was affecting my body in a negative way, because I wanted to heal my body because I was pretty sick. And so what happened, because we know what happens with wine is it's number one, it's a sugar to the body, and it's a quick release sugar. Okay. There's nothing stopping this. It's like so super fast, raises the insulin just like super fast, right? Super sugary. Second thing is it does affect the liver because it is alcohol and it needs to be detoxified by your liver. So we know that blood sugar imbalances and a fatty liver is going to contribute to being overweight. And so ideally, that's how it affects your metabolism, just saying. Ideally, if you can do what I did, which is eliminate wine for 6 months, a year. I eliminated it for a long time. I also eliminated lots of sugary stuff. Like, I was a sugar junkie. I had ice cream for dinner. I was that bad. I was just hooked on sugar. I loved sugar. I love sugar. I would have ice cream for dinner because it tasted good. So I eliminated all fruit, all sugar, all wine. And then I did a nice, beautiful cleanse. I did a really nice cleanse, and I nourished my body with the right foods. And that's how my body recovered so quickly, because I allowed it the space to do that. And I stayed on my program because it felt so good. And I reminded myself every morning, who am I? Who do I want to be? Well, it's not the sugar junkie, and it's not the one that looks sick. No, this is me now, right? This stuff works. And I kept myself accountable, but not a lot of people can do that. So I help other people stay accountable. So that's how it does. Now, if you're somebody who's not prepared to do that, that's okay. Because actually the program I designed has wine in it. You can have wine, but it's all about timing. It's about timing with the wine. It's about adding a few supplements to balance blood sugar and support the liver while you have your wine, because you're taking care of your body while you're having what you love. It's fine. And then it's the quality of wine. So there's 3 components to that question to answer that. All right. And this is how I work with my clients. Again, it's all so customized. It's also personalized. And this is what I do for my clients, right? That is a really, really good question. And by the way, I call wine vitamin W. Just saying. Wine down. Yeah, wine down. Woo-hoo, we love our wine. But again, it's all in where you're at and what you can remove. And just, it's all about, are you loving your way to health? Or are you knuckle fisting your way and hating your life? Like, where do you want to be? I don't know. To me, I want to love my way to health. And this is how I work with my clients is I know the programs are, they love getting healthy. And we include some of these things so that they can. If it's contraindicated, then we find replacements to what they can't have. Okay. So they don't feel deprived, really. Okay. So we have an answer from Larry. Thank you so much, Larry. The answer is, little red itchy hives that would appear on the underside of my forearms and calves. They would itch as bad as mosquito bites or poison ivy. Wow. So it was itchy. It wasn't just bumps, little bumps. These were itchy bumps. Okay. Yeah. Good. Thanks for sharing. That's really good. I also know itchy skin is related to wheat. But thanks for sharing. And I'm going to go back to the training. Yeah, this is great. I love these questions. You guys are awesome. Oh my gosh, we're all learning. Are you guys learning? Is this working for you? Isn't this fun? Okay, we're going back. So we're going to go to number 3, trigger. The number, okay, so we've talked about food, we talked about chemicals. Now let's go to number 3. Well, so important. Number 3 trigger to, causing autoimmune is nutritional status. There are micronutrients that the body must require to have the function it needs to heal from autoimmune. Absolutely. This is why you test and not guess. And so when it comes to someone who has hypothyroidism, so there is hypothyroidism that is actually an autoimmune type. And for these individuals, most likely they are low in zinc and vitamin D, I have to say. Zinc and vitamin D, we'd want to make sure that they are topped up. How do I know? Well, we can look at your blood tests and I can see your vitamin D. I can actually see by your alkaline phosphatase score how your zinc is doing. Plus, I can do signs and symptom questionnaire and I can figure out where your zinc is at. And also other nutrients that are really important to heal from autoimmune, okay, hypothyroidism, is we have to remember selenium. Selenium is also really important. Why? Because it really helps with the liver, because the liver is so important to help with autoimmune, get that healing, but it needs selenium to do so many functions, okay? The other one is vitamin A can be low, and C and E. There are a number of them, but what I see most common is zinc, selenium, and actually some of the B vitamins, B1, which would be thiamine, and those are the common ones I see, are the B vitamins, selenium, and zinc, okay? But it depends on the person. So anyways, this is really important. When it comes to inflammation, so say you don't have hypothyroidism, but you're overweight and you have autoimmune, well, your body needs certain nutrients for you to put away the inflammation, okay? You know you're inflamed when you get your blood work back and your highly sensitive CRP is over 1. You want it below 1, okay? And so if you're over 1, then we have to look at, are you getting the right nutrition? All right. Again, with inflammation, what I see a lot of is the B vitamins are really, really important. I see those typically being low, especially B6 if you're tired. Selenium also comes to mind. Magnesium, about 70% of the population is magnesium deficient. See, it used to be in our foods and we used to be fine. We used to have magnesium from our green vegetables, and now it's being farmed out. Unless you get really high quality organic greens, which are full of magnesium, so are cocoa nibs, then you're not eating these. Maybe you're eating them, but they're conventional. Maybe you're not eating any dark leafy greens. Maybe you're not having cocoa nibs, right? Then you're probably low in magnesium, and you wonder, why can't my body heal? Why can't I sleep? Why do I have? Why am I tired all the time? Well, that's magnesium. Vitamin C, why am I sick all the time? That's a natural antiviral. We have to get it. We have to get it from our foods. Are you getting it from your foods? right? These kind of things. These are important. We can't forget this. So we have foods for, we have to get the micronutrients in. And so I'm going to go to number 4 now, because I know we're running out of time. So 4 is infection. Of course, this is the one that we see most often. Is there is a low grade infection. Oh, I didn't have any slides for that. So there's a low grade infection. Okay. And so again, when I look at the blood work, I can look at your differentials and your white blood cell differentials, and actually pinpoint if it's fungal, viral, bacterial, maybe there's a food allergy, maybe there's parasitic. Also with the signs and symptoms questionnaire I have, I can pinpoint that. So we can, if you test, you can find these things. And hey, if your body has a low grade infection, we've got to clear out this infection. You've got to clear this infection for the body to heal. Because again, that's your immune system. It's always under guard all the time because of this infection that hasn't been cleared up. Hey, Lyme's is really common. Lyme's is so common. And so what we're going to want to do is, again, we want to be specialists, not generalists. We want to test for these things so that we can go, oh, this is what it is. Okay, well, let's have the body remove these pathogenic organisms and rebuild the body so that it's strong enough so that we don't have this reoccurrence. All right. So those are infections, and I see them all the time. So before I get into the next bit of training, which will be about self-awareness and why that's super important, I'm going to see if there's any questions that I've just gone through. See if there's any questions. All right. So just one moment. Are there any more questions? When it comes to infections, things like that. No more questions. Okay, so we're going to go back to the training and I'm going to finish it up. All right. Getting near the end here. So here we are. We are going to now talk about why self-awareness is actually the key to your healing. So what that means is good doctors work with their clinicians and help. They're actually their guide. Good doctors will ask questions to their patients. How does this feel? What do you intuitively think it is? Like, not intuitively, they won't say that. That's too hokey pokey, too woo woo woo. But it really, these questions need to come up. Doctor to clinician is, if you can ask the right question to the patient, you can find out so much more information if you ask them specific questions. What do you think it is? How does it feel? Because oftentimes the patient knows more, gives more information, knows more than the doctor in a sense, that because they actually intuitively, if you tap in, you pretty much know where the issue is. But you can't connect the dots. But if you can become self-aware of, I actually really think it's this is niggling kind of thing. I really feel this message that this is what I actually think it is. You have to pay attention to that because you actually probably know, believe it or not, you know more about you than anyone else. And so you have to know that. And so it's about tapping in. Okay. So self-awareness is key. And I want you to practice this self-awareness, especially if you're going to work with a doctor, if you're going to work with a clinician. Start to become self-aware. What's going on? Like, how am I feeling? When I have this, how does it feel in my body? Do I have energy or am I tired? Is this triggering something or not? Really, because then you can navigate yourself, really, because you actually know. No one knows more than you. And so we want self-awareness to be a key. So I want you to be mindful of when you're eating, mindful of how you're feeling after you're eating, mindful of all these things. All right. And mindful of taking supplements, these kind of things. So self-awareness is the key to healing, is what I'm trying to share. Bottom line, after all of that I've shared with you, is this. Just getting back to wrapping this up. Okay. If you're looking to, which you are, lose weight and heal from autoimmune, the number one thing that I highly recommend you do is, first of all, find someone to help you customize your program, because it's gone this far that your body has, the immune system is not working very well. It's time. Okay. If you wait, it goes to the next autoimmune, the third, the fourth, the fifth. Do you want it to go that far? Right now, you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to go, oh my gosh, Yes, I am ready to heal my body. Eat, find someone to help you heal it. But really, you can. Other people have. Why can't you? Of course you can. So we want to get away from this generalizing. We want to get into specifics. Again, you are a fingerprint. You are not like your neighbor who has autoimmune. You are you, and you have food preferences. You have a lifestyle preference. Maybe you like wine, like all these things. You want to put this into a plan that you can actually love getting healthy. You need to embrace the health, okay? Embrace it all, right? And so this is why autoimmune is a gift. It's a gift for you. This is a gift right now. It's been handed to you here. Guess what? It's your chance to learn. Oh, yay. Why do you think we're here on this planet? We're here to learn. This is a gift for you to learn. And this is a gift when you move past this challenge, you're evolving into who you're meant to be. You are here for a reason. You're not a mistake. This is something as a gift for you to heal from. And if you want help, this is exactly what I do, because it's a problem. Yeah, it's a problem that needs to be solved. And that's exactly what I do. And so what I do is I'll make sure that all 9 steps are covered in your program. And it starts with self-assessment. It always starts with testing before guessing. Okay. And I have my ways that I test. And then the rest of the plan takes care of itself. All right. But you have to test. All right. So I do want to hopefully that's made sense. And I've opened up your eyes to really how to heal from autoimmune and not messing around anymore, because it's time. Like, your body's already struggling. It's talking to you saying, when? Like, please help me now. Like, today, help me now. And if you want help, send me a direct message and I'm happy to set up a free call. It's a free call. We get to talk. I get to find out more about you and see if I can help you and see if we're fit together, right? It's like that simple. And hey, if you like to have fun getting healthy, that's exactly what I do, because this is how I live. Now we're going to get to some more questions. Thank you so much. How long does it take for bloating to go away if you know you ate food that didn't feel good? Everyone's different. And so it usually, I know, like 1 day to 2 days. This is what I hear from my clients. And then once you find the culprit, then we know that that combination of foods isn't good, which is common, or that food group isn't good, or that individual food, or the context. Oh, right. I was rushing around trying to eat that steak. Oh, don't rush around and try and eat steak. No. You need liquid nutrition if you're trying to rush around and put some nutrition in. You need a smoothie or a soup that's pureed. That's how you do it. This is what my nurses do, right? This is what my clients do that have little time to, they're clerks. They have little time to eat. Liquid nutrition, put it in your thermos, drink it. Easy. And chew it while you drink. Chew, because remember, your stomach doesn't have teeth, but we don't want to be eating steak. Okay. So that's one answer to that. Good question. I love them all. You guys are smart. Good questions. Wow. I'm really impressed. Hey, Rona, you got a question? She's still on the line. You got a question, Rona?
No, you're doing fine.
Okay. She says, I'm doing fine. Do you like this? Is this something that you want to hear more of? Because I love to teach. I love more than anything to share this information, because I'm here to help you heal your bodies. I'm here to help you see how easy it is actually to lose weight. It's super easy. And I did literally crack the code, and I don't deprive, I don't starve. I figured it all out. So if you want to, get results quickly and have fun doing it, get a hold of me. I'm happy to help. I have another question here. Thanks for saying great info. Are vitamins better taken in the AM? It depends on the vitamin. Everyone's different. And I love that question, because it is got to do with circadian rhythms. It's got to, like, when is the best time to take vitamin C? Well, at night. It'll help clean up the microbes. That's one example. And you also want to make sure that you don't take your CoQ10 too late in the day, because it's going to give you energy. So each one has its own unique profile. And this is where, when you come to an expert, they can solve that problem for you. So easy. But that's a really good question that you asked. And we want to take the right supplements at the right time, because why would you want to waste your time? Why would you want to waste your money? No, we want to optimize this and keep it simple. A lot of my clients take too many supplements, too many. We need to keep just the basics, because you're asking the body to do something. You don't want it to multitask too many things. You go, no, we're working on this time. Month 1, here's what we're working on. Oh, cool. Good. Month 2, we're going to work on this one step at a time. And everything is carefully structured to do what it needs to do. You're sending the signal to do something. And that's exactly why you see specialists, because that's what they help with. So thank you so much for that. Really good question. Are probiotic juice drinks good for the gut? I'd have to know the probiotic juice drink that you're actually referring to. And if I knew that, I could better comment on that. A lot of probiotics that you buy don't work, I have to say. Why do I know that? Because I spent a lot of time with a scientist. His name is Dr. Nigel Plummer. He's the formulator of the probiotics that I use, because the probiotics that I use are actually clinically proven in a setting, in a lab, to be able to have an effect. And this has been shown, double-blind, placebo-controlled studies done in UK that actually show that, and one was called the child study. There was another one, which showed that it really reduced respiratory, conditions when taken at the right time. There's specific ones for autoimmune, actually, because you don't want to take the wrong ones. You're putting in external, like they're not human. You're putting in other bacteria into the body. How do you know it's the right one for you? How do you know that it's not, your body's not going to react? Okay. We do know when we work with a clinician like me. So I'll know, like, those are not, if you have autoimmune, you have to be really careful with probiotics, I tell you, because you can actually grow the pathogenic organisms. And that's where SIBO comes in. So I'd be very, 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 very careful with probiotics. I'd be very, very careful. Just saying, that's, yeah. Great info. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Good. Yeah, that's good. Of course, you've corrected that. That's good. These are great questions. Really, really good. I guess last chance to ask some questions. So nice to have you here. I am going to put the recording up, so if you want to see it again. And also, again, please get a hold of me if you want more specialized help. It only starts with a phone call. And I want to thank you so much for coming. Make sure you join me next Wednesday, 12 PST. And I'm going to go through more deeper dives into the program that I have and answer your questions along the way. So thank you. Be good and a little bit bad. Okay, we'll see you next week.